Hello, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna go over love. The one feeling, one thing that everybody chases. More than money, even more than peace, because love comes first. You cannot be at peace if you don't love yourself. If you're not in love with life, there's no peace. So even for peace, you need love. So love, even for authenticity. Because I'm a huge advocate for authenticity, but you can't be your authentic self if you don't love yourself. It's very difficult. So you have to love yourself. Like amor fati, right? Love who you are, and then you'll be at peace. So again, everything comes after love. Love is the one thing on this planet that everybody is chasing. It's on their own definition. You know, some people's definition of love is really messed up, but that's what they're seeking. Everyone at the end of the day is seeking love. So this video is to clarify. It's not to judge anybody because I don't judge. I just, if somebody insults me, of course I'm going to judge them, and be like, hey, this is how you are, But I don't just go around finding flaws in people. I actually do appreciate humanity for what humanity is. And this is why I want to make a video to clarify how one should approach love. And it's funny because it took me 20 years of being single to figure this out because everyone has their own perspective. So let's get into it. Okay. So you know how everyone is trying to be of service to others? Like either if it's through corporation or it's through their own business or through relationship, everyone is trying to be service to others. Now, the underlying thing can be, I'm trying to servicing myself first and then I service others. That can be the underlying issue. However, at the end of the day, everyone's trying to help in their own way, even if it's for themselves, It doesn't matter. Like someone working at a restaurant, it's true they're working for the tips and the money, but they're still in the service industry. Like they're serving people, So service to others is what we're here on this planet for, and unity, right? But you can't serve others without serving yourself first. So this is where the ambiguity comes, because how do you know if someone's done serving themselves and now they want to serve others? Like there's no fine line. This is gradual. It's like service to self, and then eventually you become service to others. It's kind of hard to go from service to self to service to others overnight. Momentum, right? So service to self must be fulfilled first. So if your needs are not fulfilled, or if you're, not viewing yourself the way you must view yourself, including myself, I viewed myself like an assistant the whole time. Well, the whole time I knew I was the boss, but whatever, it's how you view yourself. So I was, they told me I'm the assistant. My title says assistant. So I often linked myself to being, of service, but through an assistant position. But I understand, I have leadership skills. So that's where I wasn't true to myself. I've belittled myself, right? When I wasn't supposed to, because of how I viewed myself. So again, like I'm also at fault, like I'm not saying I have all the answers. However, 20 years of being single and dating people, trust me when I can tell you, like I've seen a lot of discrepancies. So it's not like, oh, I'm trying and I'm failing. Whoever's trying, wonderful. There's just a lot of I see it, it's a game, right? Manipulation, the way they're trying, it's not really trying. It has become a game, It has become like, oh, I bet $100 I can get this girl to do this for me. And this is what it has become, like a bet, I'm going to show you I can do this, It's not even about the love anymore. So once you're done servicing yourself and loving yourself and amor fati, then you can love others, okay? So let's just be very clear on that. I've met people that are far from loving themselves, So it's normal. They're going to use manipulation tactics. Like I even have that in my family. They use manipulation tactics because they don't know how to get the love, So I have compassion for everybody because everyone's looking for love. I can't be like, oh, you're a horrible person because you're looking for love. No, you're a great person because you're looking for love. What you're doing might be horrible, So this is what I want to clarify. So again, I don't have all the answers, but I do have a wonderful perspective on what it feels like to be single 20 years in a very populated and metropolitan area. It's not like there's no people. No, trust me, we're not running out of people here. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of options. but I can see a pattern within myself and on who I'm picking. Because here's the thing. I figured it out why I'm constantly picking people like my father. And my father came in and out of my life a lot. And this is why I tell people I don't have a father, because I don't remember how he is. I just remember, the negative stuff and how I wished he wasn't in my life. Like some people's, parents die. And it's a very sad thing. But I wished when I was young all the time that, oh, maybe today's going to get hit by a car and not show up. Maybe today something's going to happen. He won't, he won't be here anymore. That's actually really bad to think like that. So I've noticed that, this is a very big problem. So I noticed that I'm constantly looking for people that I can fix, because to me, everyone has a problem. So of course I'm going towards the worst, like not the worst, but the ones with the biggest issues, because my father had like a lot of issues. It wasn't just one or two. He had a lot. So, and I forgave him. It's fine. But I can see that like these issues are showing up in my patterns and the people that I pick, because I'm like, oh, I can be of use for this person. I can be of use, I can help them love themselves. I can be of service to others, while also loving myself. So it kind of gets blurred out, It's hard to explain. It's not like I'm specifically looking for a-holes, I wish it was that easy, but it's not. So as an example, why do I have so many pets? It's not like I went to the pet shop and I'm like, 50 cats, please. I don't have 50, but that's not what I did. The first 2 cats that I moved here with, my original cats, they were going to die. I'm not going to go through the whole story, but if I hadn't picked them up right there, they were going to die. I wasn't going to do that. So I took them. And at that time I was in apartments. So it was fine. And in apartments, other cats don't really show up, because most apartments, you're not even allowed to have animals. So super okay till then. When I bought this house and I lived in this area, and I love this area, but there's like chickens roaming free, and there's cats and dogs roaming free, It's kind of like a free-for-all. So you have animals going into garbages trying to make it, and a lot of them become sick. They eat stuff off garbages, and then I see their faces, and I got to take them to the vet now, So it's causing a problem. So because I have 2 cats and I live, by myself, and I have a large, trust me, I have a large backyard. For LA, this is large, and a large front yard. So what happens? All the abandoned cats show up. One by one. So I'm cooking. It's funny, I'm vegan, but I go to Costco, I get the meat, not even for me, for the animals, and I cook for them. So when you cook for this many animals, what's another plate? Like, what's another 2 plate? When you're cooking a lot, So what's another extra plate? It's nothing. So when a cat comes in, and I don't know this cat, like recently a black cat came and I took it, I don't care. Like, if he's showing up because he's hungry, I'll feed him. So it's kind of sad to say, this is how I see it. Like, my mom used to kick my father out because low vibration energy. And then he would, kind of be like stuck because, the family kicked him out. So he would crawl back. And then, my mom would feel sorry for him and would take him back, and the same crap all over again. So it's not like we're looking for these people to fix so we can feel the love. It's more like we grew up in these environments where everyone needed something, and we felt, accomplished by providing what they needed. Because, it's your family members, it's animals coming in and they need help. So when you date somebody and it's the same energy, you're like, yeah, this is familiar and I know what to do, right? So that's the catch. It's all in good intentions. It's not like we're going out looking for abusive people to abuse us. It's really not like that, because trust me, most of empaths are extreme professionals. Like, they're very successful people, but we have a hard time in our personal life because we care deeply. Like all the cats, like, hey, if I'm going to have 50 cats, listen, it is what it is, I'd rather still feed them myself than taking them to the pound. And here, it's all kill shelters, California is huge. Number 1 kill shelter in all of America is California. So I'm going to take these cats that are like, please, I'm hungry, help me, to the pound? It makes no sense. So this is how I view humans. And unfortunately, I'm constantly taking care of people. But that's okay, because I'm catching these patterns. And as I'm catching my patterns, I'm also healing myself. And I'm making these videos to also heal others as I'm learning. Okay, so this is not something I discovered a year ago. It's something I've discovered with time. So first and foremost, you have to be in love with your life so much that you're not trying to escape it. You're not trying to, upgrade or, trying to make it a completely different. You can make it better, but not to escape it. Basically, this is my life and I want a quantum leap. Not escape. Quantum leap. I want to be a much better version of me. However, I want that to be in a short term. I don't want to wait too long, right? So you must first and foremost be in love with your life, amor fati, so you're not looking to escape. You're not looking to find a solution outside to make you happy on the inside. Okay, so once received, right? Once you receive the love, that's how you can tell what type of love it is, okay? So we went over how you're going after it or how we're seeking it to how we're receiving it. Because seeking is just one version. It's like, it's my patterns and I'm looking out for love. So that's just one way of looking at it. However, once you receive it, then you have the evidence. Once you receive the love, then you can see, is this love authentic? Is it transactional? What is it? Okay? When the person gives you the love, or their version of love, because it's always their version. It's what they think you want or they think that people want, So when they give you their version of their love, you need to see if it's transactional. Because subconsciously, a lot of them is transactional. I can do this for you, you can do this for me. Right? So when you receive it, how are you receiving it? Is it like, oh, hey, sweetie, I'm finishing work at 5 p.m. on Friday. Would you like to come and pick me up from work? Trust me, there's people like that out there. That's how they just communicate with you. Like, so that it's transactional. Hey, sweetie, okay, I'll pick you up on Friday, no problem. But Saturday, can we go hiking all day? And can we go here or can we go do that? Why are you just picking them up on a Friday or on a Thursday from work? Like that's a service. That's transactional. It's like, oh, pick me up and we'll go do this in exchange. No. You can get your own ride and call me on a Saturday when you have better plans, right? What is that? So I'm not saying, you're married to the person and the father of your children or the mother of your children, they're asking you to go pick them up from work. I'm talking about like people that simply just met each other. Okay? This is not years and years, simply just met each other. First, if you just met each other, there's no reason for you to go pick up somebody from work. Like these are transactional. Okay? Once you receive it, you can tell, but only once you receive it, right? Then is it coming from an authentic place? Is it because they're needy or is love scarcity and that's why they want to love you? Is it because they need to love somebody and you just happen to be the sucker that they fall on? Like you got to kind of see, where is this love coming from? Even if it is, let's say, well received, you can look into it and be like, all right, is this person sticking to me because they can't find anybody else? Or is this person sticking to me because they're very needy and they can't be alone? Like I have some girlfriends like that. Well, I don't really talk to them anymore because obviously I manifested them out of my life, but I have some girlfriends like that. They can't be alone. They constantly need to have a boyfriend. They just can't be alone. They can't be single. So that's needy. Well, that's not real love. That's the love that they think that they need, but that's not coming from an authentic place. That's coming from a pattern. So if somebody's loving you because they don't want to be alone, so, again, where is the love coming from? Where is it? What's the intention? 3, is the love unconditional? And this is a huge problem, okay? So here's the thing. When we mean unconditional love, we don't say, oh, I'm going to love you no matter how you treat me. So this is, what happened in my marriage. I was dating the person. I was having a great time. As soon as we got married, I felt like I got locked in. I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't have guy friends. I couldn't do the things I was able to do a year ago. I couldn't go clubbing anymore. I couldn't have my guy friends anymore. My girlfriends couldn't be too wild or bad influence, whatever. They had to be like married people. It was ridiculous. And overnight, this happened. As soon as I signed the marriage thing and we got married, I had to completely change who I was. That's not unconditional. So I got to stay in the relationship now because I have to give the person unconditional love because I vowed that till death do us part, I will love this person no matter what. This is why you don't sign a contract. And if you do, it has to be really because you love the person and you want to be binded by contract to that person, right? So you can't just get married because the religion or the family. And here's the thing, I'm not bashing my religion because I'm happy my mom did what she did, because knowing me, I would have been like most girls. I would have lost my virginity in the back of some guy's car that I don't even remember his name. And I'm sorry to say, there's a lot of girls that lose it like that, a lot. And here I notice it's the beach. These guys after the clubs are trying to take these girls into the beach. And it's not even a car, because in Montreal you need a car, it's freezing. But here they go into the bushes in the beach. And I had one of my girlfriends one ask the guy, like, hey, can we go to a hotel? And he's like, that's $300. Let's go to the beach, like, this is horrible. And this is why, like, in our culture, you have to get married. Like, there's no, going to the beach to lose your virginity to some guy you met in a club. Like, sadly, this is today's world. And I'm not insulting anybody. I rather freedom than not having freedom. I rather freedom than not having freedom. However, in my mother's case, knowing me and how I love to experiment, she knew I was going to experiment for sure in that section. So I understand she did what she did at that time and she thought it was best, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful because I've seen girls, open their legs for a cigarette. Anyways, I'm not trying to judge. I'm not, I don't want to go into that energy, but pretty much, is this person like, where is it coming from? Are they just trying to like face a need, or is it really because they're interested in you? You have to analyze this, because when I was young and someone was interested in me, I just felt like, it's my lucky day. Oh, I must be special because he picked me over the other girl, But that's not what it is. It might just be a horrible opportunity that you need to shoo away, right? Because trust me, you shoo this one away, a better one's going to come. You shoo that one away, a better one's going to come. You got to keep shooing them away until you're happy, But you got to know what you're showing away. You can't just be like, I don't understand myself in the world and therefore I'm showing everybody away. That's not what I mean. My point is, you can't be like, oh, this person's talking to me and therefore he must be the one, Because unfortunately, a lot of girls are like that. Even myself when I was young, like my very first boyfriend, I thought I was like so special that he picked me. And when I look back now, I'm like, oh my God, I think it was the other way around. But that's all right. That's all right, It's all right because I didn't know. I had no idea, So you kind of have to judge, you have to determine. You have to determine, where is this love coming from? And why is it given it to me? So again, when I mean unconditional, I don't mean the person can do whatever they want and get away with it. That's not unconditional love. I understand that like a mother and a child, that's unconditional because the child can, tell off the mother or the father unlimitedly and the parents will still love them. But that's child and parent situation, relationship. You can't feel like that towards a stranger. Oh, I'm going to love this person no matter what they do to me. They're not your family, right? So you can't think like that. So what is unconditional love? Let me clarify this for you. Because I do unconditionally love my friends. And this is what it means. I have this one friend. She loves to collect rocks. It's her thing. And it's weird because when you go to her house, there's rocks everywhere. Like it's ridiculous, but it's her thing. She loves to collect rocks. So every time we go to the beach, this girl's bent over picking rocks and putting them in bags. And if you ask me, they all look the same. Nothing special about these rocks to me, right? That's what unconditional love is okay, I'm loving this person, including her quirks, her weirdness or whatever. It's you love the person for the package. You love them for their good side. They're charging me with energy. They're really loving. They're really funny. They're very hosting. Every time I go over, I feel good. You have these. And then you have the weird side. Well, she collects rocks. She's a loner. She's like this. She's like that, But you love them for who, like, she wouldn't be who she is if she didn't collect those rocks. She wouldn't be. She would be like just like the other girls I met in clubs, She wouldn't be. She wouldn't be who she is. That's what unconditional love is. Loving the person for who they are. Not loving the person for however bad they treat you. That's not unconditional love. That's the love between parents and a child. And that's bonded because the parent had the child in their belly for 9 months. It's the same blood, It's kind of normal. It's like I'll put up with stuff from my pets, but I'm not going to put up from the same attitude from people on the street. They're my pets. They can, they can get away with way more than random people on the street. So that's what unconditional love is, Oh, this girl doesn't want to date me anymore. It's not, she doesn't unconditionally love me. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. The person needs to love you for who you are as a package. You can't be like ashamed of, I'm collecting rocks and therefore, because you're going to vibe that. So it can't be like that. It's acceptance, 100% acceptance. And how do these people come into your life? Through laws of attraction. Like you go into a festival and then you meet them. And that's why you love them and their quirkiness, right? You go to a workplace and you happen to have the, similar jobs and then you meet them and then the quirkiness matches, It's not like I'm going to some random park and I'm like, hey, I'm going to unconditionally love you, right? That's the law of attraction. It's these people that are attracted to your field and then they get locked in because they keep being interested in your field. That's how you lock it in. So the next point is it committed or is it sporadic? Is this person speaking to you directly or is he sending his friends to talk to you? Is this person approaching you or simply manipulating you? Right? It's so obvious. So is it committed or is it sporadic? Is it, they just, show up when they need something, or do they show up because they really care? It kind of gets obvious with time. But at first it's very confusing because we all want the love. So we want to believe that no, there's nothing wrong with this relationship. Oh, it's okay. He's a little quirky. That's all right. Oh, it's all right. He does that, but that's all right. Right? We just want it so badly that we're justifying everything that's messed up. All the red flags, we're justifying it because we want the love so badly. And subconsciously, that's what it is. This is why we would put up with things we should never put up in the first place. Because we're all chasing love. And it's fine, because what is this world without love? Trust me, I've loved myself for 20 years. But I would love to love somebody else, it's not like, because, I've loved myself for such a long time, but you also want to love, you want to love others. With time, you want to have a family, you want to have pets, you want to grow this love, right? You don't want to just keep it for yourself. This is, I love myself so much, but just me. You want to, like a fountain. You want to overflow with love to the point where you can overflow onto, others. That's the healthiest. So you can see by these aspects, and then you can determine, how is this love? And it's okay if it's transactional and that's what you want, then at least well, I'm going into this relationship, it's transactional. This person doesn't need me to be the mother of his children. He doesn't need me as a wife. He doesn't need me as anything. He just needs me as a right. I take him to the work and then I take, that's all he needs me for. At least judge. And if you're okay with it, you're okay with that. At least you can't come back and be like, hey, I didn't sign up for this. No, you signed up for that. And again, however you start the relationship, this is so important. However you start the relationship, that's how it's going to continue. Okay? So however you start the relationship, that's how it's going to continue. I'm going to say that again. However you start the relationship, that's how they're going to continue. Okay? So if the guy makes you chase him, if the guy makes you do all the moves, and you always do the talking and you always do the picking up and this and that, right? If the person's always making you do it, what does that mean? That means that you're always going to have to chase him. And I know, because I've run after some guys. Some guys, I walked up to it, I'm like, you have to give me your number. I'm not shy. I've walked up to some guys and I'm like, you have to give me your number. We have to hang out. We have to I've done that many times. And it never worked. It never worked. Because after that, the guy was always expecting me to chase him. And I'm like, listen, man, I made the first move. Now you could make the moves, But it was never like that. Because I determined in the beginning that I'm going to chase you. I'm the one that's super interested in you. And I'm the one that's going to do all the effort. And I've noticed they lock themselves into that. They're like, oh, this is great. I don't need to work. Instead of being like, wow, this is a great opportunity. Let me also, stand up and do my share. No. They just go on their lazy boy and they're like, wonderful. I just realized I don't have my mic. Anyways, they just went, they go on their lazy boy and they're like, wonderful. She's going to do all the work. So I noticed that. And this is why I have a hard time chasing guys, because as soon as I chase them, I'm like, keep chasing me. Like that person, I had to go to 4 shows. I didn't even see The Cure 4 times, and that's my favorite band. But I don't know, I kept on going, and I don't know why. To be honest, I don't even know why. And at backstage, he was like, you have any questions for me? And I realized I don't. I actually don't have any questions. I don't even know why I'm here. To be honest. So, but it's my fault. I take fault, and that's what it was, because I was curious. I'm like, this is weird. I've never been in this kind of situation. Let me go see what this is all about. And I found out. It's like, I got to do all the work. I got to chase. I'm sorry. I have a very, very masculine energy because I had to live in my masculine energy most of my life. But I'm not going to be the man in the relationship. I can assure you that. It's that, that makes no sense. To me, that makes no sense. If I wanted to be the man in the relationship, I would have been born as a man, or I would have been a transvestite. I would turn myself into a man, go get surgery down there, and go find myself a wonderful woman. That's what I would have done if I wanted to chase men. But that's not the energy at all. At all. So I understand that no one's perfect in this world. Everyone is kind of, they have their own patterns, and including me. And I thought going into the spiritual world, I was going to meet guys completely different from my, past. But I noticed, no, I meet the exact same thing with the exact same pattern. Emotionally unavailable people. That's what they are. They are emotionally unavailable. And it's okay, that's what I attract. Emotionally unavailable people. They all have situations that are super messed up because they're emotionally not there. They checked out. So, I'm also flawed in this. I thought by changing groups, I was going to change, but no, it doesn't change like that. You still attract because it's in your magnetic field. It's in your aura, and it's a charge, right? It's a charge. So your charge needs to be released, and it's only going to be released when you meet someone that can release your charge. So it's normal that relationship, you grow. Even if it's negative, you grow. You're like, wow, I learned so much from this. So it's never even negative. It's always positive, in my opinion. 20 years, and I can tell you, 20 years of all the dating I did, at the end, it's all positive. Even if it didn't work out, it didn't work out because that's what it shouldn't have worked out. It didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to work out. It's not like, oh, it didn't work out and I'm sad. No, it didn't work out because it didn't work out. They should just chase for whatever they're capable of doing. If I'm super, super busy and I don't have time for anything, just this 1 hour a week, then, that's all you're going to get. You can't be like, well, I'm going to get an hour, but then I'm going to, get into his life and then make that hour 5 hours and then make that 5 hour 10 hour and then make that 10 hour 20. It doesn't work like that. The guy's just giving you an hour. He's giving you an hour, right? So, and I'm saying guys, but it can be girls. Listen, one thing I have to say, I've seen a lot of aggressive girls here. So, maybe I don't have experience dating girls here, but I have some guy friends and they have told me how aggressive they are. And some of them actually got raped by these girls, which I never thought it was possible. I didn't think a guy can get, like that from a girl. I don't know. If it's not up, then how do you do it? So, and if it's up, it's because you're excited. So I don't know. Me, I didn't understand that part, but from my friends here, I can see a lot of them the girls are super aggressive and they're kind of monsters towards the guys, So I'm not just saying guy, girl. I might just say guy because that's my experience. But 100%, I've heard here girls of horrific things, horrific. Like trapping the guy and sleeping around others and making babies with others and coming into the family. Like some pretty, or just raped, girls that raped guys. Like I said, I never heard that until I came to LA. And I'm like, that's possible? And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in Canada. I'm sure it does, just not as often as here. Okay, so what consists of a healthy relationship? What does a healthy love look like? And I'm not talking about secure attachment, unsecure attachment, because I have some secure attachment friends and the parents' relationship is crap. It's really bad. Even if they're together and they're secure, it's not because they're together and they're secure that the relationship is very loving. So what is a true loving relationship? First and foremost, we have to have things in common, right? If there's absolutely nothing in common, that's not love. That's like someone, in Bangladesh going to like China and go, I want that one. It's like, hold on. Why do you want that one? You've never met them. You have nothing in common. The religion's not in, the family's not in common. The ethnicity's not, like nothing's in common. So it makes no sense to go to China and be like, I want that one, right? So you have to have things in common, right? It can't just be a vibe. Like I've met guys where I'm like, wow, this guy is incredible. And I've dated them and I'm like, no, their vibe is not so incredible. So, you can pick somebody based on a vibe. Absolutely. But that's just the vibe. You need to have things in common. In the best relationships, I've seen where the people have a lot of things in common. I'm not saying same nationality. I'm married Taiwanese. My husband was Taiwanese American. And that's why my wedding was in Taipei, Taiwan, and whatever. I don't want to get into the details, but I'm not talking about race. You can pick someone completely different from you racially. That's not what I'm saying. Things in common. Abstract things in common. Like, do you guys want a family? If you don't, okay. Do you guys go hiking? If you don't, all right. Do you guys do the same work or similar work? You don't, okay. You don't like exercise? Okay. So it makes no sense. Then the entire life becomes a compromise. And that's what happened with my husband. I picked someone completely different from me because I wanted to try something new. I, went very far and different. However, that's the thing. We didn't have anything in common. Like he would go to the gym and I would go to the gym to be with him, but I hate going to the gym, we would go eat out because I didn't know how to cook at that time. So I was just like, tagging along. I wasn't doing the things I wanted to do. And when it came to the things I wanted to do, he didn't want to do it. So our lives became a huge compromise. So there's no true love, authentic, real love if there's nothing in common. It's just impossible. It's like me going random and be like, I want that one. Why? I don't know. His vibe. He looks like a good guy. He looks like he can be gentle and kind, it just doesn't work like that. So super important. They have things in common. 2, are they trying to get to know you? Okay. Someone truly interested in you will do everything in their power to get to know you. They're going to be like, what's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite? How do you take your coffee? How do you, what do you like to do? They'll just endlessly ask questions. Why? Because they're interested. They're interested in who you are. So if somebody never asks any questions, no. And not only that they don't ask any questions, they just find flaws. They're like, oh, I can fix her here and I can fix her there and I can fix her there. What do you mean you can fix me? Do you even know who I am? Do you even know what I like? Do you, did you ever ask me anything? Not, And it's funny because we met 4 times and all 4 times it was as if we met for the first time. Hi, we're meeting for the first time again. It's not authentic. It's not. It's organized. So I mentioned it before. Are they sending their friends to talk to you, or can they actually step up to the plate and speak to you directly? That's something else. If someone can't speak to you directly, it's not genuine. All right, it's a trap. It's manipulation. This is all calculated. How should a man break the ice with a woman, or vice versa? How should a woman break the ice with a man? The best way to break the ice with somebody, and let me tell you this, because a lot of people don't know this. Like I've gone online dating, and it's like they're lying so much on their profile. Even in the picture, they don't look the same. Then you meet them and you're like, okay, well, you don't look nothing like your pictures. And I caught you lying a couple times in here, right? So that already starts bad. First, you caught them lying on their profile. So that means they're going to lie on other things, right? So now you can't trust what they're saying. And then this is just the first date. This is just the first date. So first date, you already can't believe the person because they lied, right? And then you're like, all right, well, I'm wasting my time, because it is wasted. Like once I get there and the person doesn't look like it's, I'm wasting my time. Now I'm upset. Right? So this is not the way to go. And again, everyone is looking for love. So I'm trying to show compassion. If you're lying because you're insecure about yourself, I see your intentions. It's coming from a right place. However, it's not the right move, not for a relationship. They have to love you for who you are. So you collect rocks, you collect garbage, you collect whatever. They have to love you for who you are. Then by showing you that they love you and not, oh, I'm going to love you after I fix them. I'm going to love them after I do this, right? So how do you break the ice with somebody? Is you approach them based on their passion. So let's say I like to knit purses. Super random. I like to knit purses, right? If a guy wants to talk to me, in my opinion, the best way to break the ice, and this is the best way, he buys a purse from me, right? He's like, okay, Sarah, you make purses. So now my passion is activated, right? Yay. I get someone who wants my passion. So super turned on. They like what I'm doing. They like the fact that I'm knitting purses. 2, they're supporting me, right? So at the end of the day, if the guy is somebody I don't want to talk to, I've never wasted my time because I was in my passion and I made money, right? 3rd, the guy can be like, all right, well, you're making purses. I would like a purse for my mother. So right there, I know he's single. He doesn't have a girlfriend. And I know he has a great relationship with his mother, right? So this is amazing. This is how you break the ice with somebody. And the same thing with a guy, you know? If he's a life coach, you reach out to him. You're like, oh, this is all my problems. And this is what I'm looking for. And then you go meet them. If it works, great. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you support the person, right? You purchase whatever they're making. You're like, hey, I want to get to know you more. And hey, if it doesn't work out, you didn't waste the person's time because you left them shining in their passion. Okay? So it's super easy, super easy. Hey, my name is Joe. I'd love a purse for my mother. And then Joe, as I'm making the purse, I'm talking to Joe. You know, I'm getting, a week later, I'm talking to Joe again. Hey, Joe, your purse is almost done. Hey, Joe, I'm going to ship it to you. No, don't ship it to me. I'll come pick it up, Sarah. All right, great, Joe. Right? This is what you want. This is the organic way of meeting somebody. And this is how we used to meet people in communities. You know, you used to be in a community of 100 people. You know, pick the Joe out of the 100 people that you want. But now it's like we have so many options. Hey, listen, 20 years of online dating, 20 years of having Joes lie to me. The last 2 guys I dated didn't even have cars. Nothing against that, you know, but like, I don't want to go pick them up every time. It makes no sense. You know, there's a metro. If you don't want to take the metro, well, tough fluff. If you don't have a car, take the metro. That's what happens. That's the consequence, you know, or get an Uber. But anyways, everyone's lying. Everyone, online dating is a hot shot. And this is all based out of insecurity, looking for love. So everyone's lying. Everyone's is a hot shot, right? Everyone's playing a role. Like no one's authentic. Well, this is me. This is my flaws. This is what I'm looking for. Are you interested? Absolutely nobody does that approach. Because everyone's thinking like sales approach. Oh, I need to trap this person. I need to sell myself. I need to prove that I can do all this, right? No. In a relationship, you don't need to sell yourself. You just need to surrender and be yourself, right? So the person can be like, all right, well, I can do nothing with this person. I can definitely watch TV 10 hours with this person and not have a problem because they're themselves. But imagine a hot shot. Hey, I'm so good. I have so many friends. I can't just chill with this person and do nothing all day. Because that's not what he's showing me. He's showing me that I'm always going to have to keep up with his hot shotness, you know? But again, 20 years online dating, 20 years acting like a hot shot. And one guy I met, and I was trying to get to know him because he wasn't saying anything about himself. So I was like, okay, well, what do you do for a living? You're not really putting anything here. What do you do for that? What do you for? And the guy snapped. He's like, I'm just like everybody else, and I have my flaws just like everybody else. He literally snapped at me. So hold on. You're competing in a pool of thousands and thousands of men, and you're snapping at me, telling me I'm just like the next Joe, you know? I'm just like everybody else. Hold on. Why would I pick that? I'm sorry. What does that mean? I'm just like everybody else. If you're just like everybody else, then you don't stand out, buddy. You know? So I see these guys getting upset, but let me clarify something, okay? So for someone that understands energy, let me clarify something that's going to make it very crystal clear to everybody. And this is where we've gone astray in today's society. How does nature work? Always go back to nature. You know, God didn't make a mistake. God didn't make birds that flew. Oh, that wasn't supposed to fly. Oh, fishes that can only swim. That wasn't supposed to swim. No. Everything God has created is perfect, okay? So always go back to nature whenever you have questions. So in nature, the woman, right, tries to only go with one person. I'm not talking about cats because once I had a lot of cats, I saw the mating season of cats and that thing is like a porn. It's really bad. It's like porn. Those female cats are something else, let me tell you. But I'm not talking about cats. I'm not talking about rats or cats, something that like makes a lot of babies all the time. I'm talking about like animals in the wild that make babies normally, you know? So, does the woman chase all the guys? Oh, I want that one. Oh, I want that one. No, maybe not. I want that one. Oh, maybe this one. No, absolutely not. The woman, she sits in her lazy boy, and then the guys come, and one's like, this is how strong I am, da 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 da, right? And then the other guy comes and punches this guy, and he's like, hey, he's not strong. I'm stronger because I just beat him up, right? Or then you have birds that look way prettier when they're males than when they're females. So why would the bird be prettier if they're a male? Technically, the prettiness goes to the girl and the strongest goes to the male, right? But some birds out there, they're not strong. They're just pretty. Why? Because they want the woman to pick them, right? So the male energy goes out and makes a lot of babies with a lot of people or animals. And the female energy is the one that picks who I want to be the father of my child. Okay? So once you understand nature like that, that's the energy. So in today's world, and trust me, I've dated these guys, they're like girls. They're like, not only they're not trying to fight for my attention, they're making me do all the work. And they're like the girls, they're like the prize. And they just walk around and they're like, look at me. But I'm like, but you're men. You're not supposed to, like, yeah, great if you're pretty, but that's not what I'm looking for in a man. I'm not looking for a pretty boy. I just mean that a guy's purpose isn't to be pretty and prance around. And if that's what they love to do and they're transvestite or gays, that's okay, you know? That's them. But in nature, a woman is not going to be attracted to a guy that he thinks he's the prize. It doesn't work like that. It's super, super turn off. Super turn off. Because not only he's not doing anything to get attention, he's requesting or demanding attention. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You know, always go back to nature. So this is why girls chasing a million guys, it doesn't work. They're all going to make you become the guy. And then they're going to be the girl. So I noticed that, like, I love to cook for the guys that I'm dating. But it constantly turns into like I'm being their mother, you know? So I noticed that. It's like, oh, and it's not their fault. This is what I noticed. A lot of the guys that I dated haven't had proper love in their life. They haven't. And I again, it comes from a compassionate place, right? So I try to like be there for them. But for them to like, instead of understanding, well, I'm trying to be nurturing, they're like, wow, I've never had this before. So then they take 100% advantage, 100%. Then they expect me to cook for them, or they like, I'll cook and they'll just, oh, I got to go somewhere, you know, but I cooked, you know. Then it becomes like, I got to do it, you know. So again, it comes from a loving place. But I've noticed, like, as soon as something great happens, they take full advantage of it. I'm like, oh, give me some more, give me some more. Well, it's not a one-way relationship, buddy, you know, it's two ways. I can keep giving, but like, you can't keep leaving, you know. And that's what it is. It's like they see, oh, now I got the energy that I want, and now I'm going to lock in this pattern. Well, you can't lock in this pattern. In a relationship, it's not a pattern. You know, you pick up wherever the person's slacking, and the person picks up wherever you're slacking. But you can't like use that as a manipulation. Well, today I'm going to slack off. I'm not going to do anything. The person's going to pick up. You know, that's what it is. It's all a game at the end of the day. It's all like, how can I get this love from this person? Right? And love shouldn't be a game. It shouldn't be a tactic. It shouldn't be manipulation, a trap. A trap? You're going to trap somebody? Like, think about it. Okay, the phone rang and cut off my video. But exactly, think about it, right? If someone traps you, that's a horrific way. And the people that trap others, it's because they got trapped. So again, it's nothing but compassion. But just because someone did something horrific to you doesn't mean you also have to go do it to somebody else. You know, you got to catch yourself. So you don't trap others. You know, oh, I'm only going to help you if you do this for me. If I can trap you, and then I'll give you what you want, you know. And then, are you a priority? Very important. Like, you know, are you a priority in this person's life? You know, it's funny. Like, I come from a religion where you can have 4 wives, you know. And most of these people can't even handle 1 wife, let alone 4. But what is that? 4? You're going to have 4 wives? Look, in my opinion, real love, you are the person's priority. The relationship is the priority, right? You can't be like, well, you're going to be woman number 2 And then I'm just going to see you Thursday, Friday when I'm, what is that? And I've noticed that in America, this is really in LA especially, because like I said, most of the people in LA are transplants. They're implants, like they come from somewhere else. LA was a desert and it used to be Mexico, right? So when you go to downtown, there are some Mexicans, but mostly it's not, So LA is 100%, in my opinion, implants. There are people local here, but I love meeting local people here because to me, they're, it's like, wow, there's a local one. So most people that are implants, they don't know what real love is because they haven't seen it. And to be honest, most people haven't seen it. I've seen a couple that to me, they're the ideal couple, but they don't want to be on Instagram. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to exist. And I completely understand them. And in my opinion, this is why they're so strong. Nothing can ever penetrate these two people because they're solid. They don't need the Instagram fame or this and that, which I think they should come to Instagram and show to the world what an example of a very powerful and loving couple is. But I understand they don't want to do that. So what is the most, loving couple ever? A couple that puts each other priority. I've seen men where they're like, oh, my job is going to come first no matter what. Okay, your job's going to come first no matter what? All right. So again, he's filling a need, right? He has his job, he has his world, and he wants a girl to be second priority. I have my job in my life, and you're going to be my second priority, So in my opinion, that's not real love. I'm not saying the guy wants to be on his mission and the girl's not letting him. That's different. That's not what I'm saying. The person needs a job, So if the job happens to be the mission, then wonderful, even better. But the job the job can't come before the relationship. Never, ever. Solid relationship at home, that fuels you to go do your mission, right? You can't be like, my mission fuels me to come and make love to my wife. No, not really. That's not how it should be, So again, I know, and I've dated some of these people. They're like, I have companies and I have a family and I don't have time for like having fun. I don't have time to go hiking. So listen, if you don't have time for anything, don't call me. Like, really? It's like the audacity of these people to be like, I don't need anything but this small little role that you can play in, and then therefore you can come into my life, Horrible, horrible. So again, if you're not a priority in the person's life, you're not a priority at all. Trust me on this one. Trust me on this one. If you're replaceable compared to the job, because the job's not replaceable, right? The job cannot be replaced. But if the woman can be replaced, come on. That's not real love. Okay? So it can't be like you're not a priority in my life, but you should be grateful that you're in it. Come on, man. Breadcrumbs. Here's little, and this is what they do. They give you little breadcrumbs, and if you're like, oh, breadcrumbs, then they're like, oh, look at this one. She loves those breadcrumbs. So why would I give her an entire baguette? She's happy with the breadcrumbs. And that's what happens. A guy will never offer you a baguette if you're like, oh my God, he's talking to me. I'm so lucky. Right? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. And this is what they mean by your interior reflects your exterior. Because if you think that you deserve breadcrumbs, well, then they're just going to offer you breadcrumbs. It's normal. It's the law of attraction. That's what I deserve and that's what I'm going to get. So no, if you love somebody, you make them a priority. They're the top priority of your entire life, even before your family. Because let's say my brother and his wife have this issue with my mom. Let's say, hypothetically, right? My brother cannot take my mom's side. If he does, he's going against his wife. So my brother has no choice but to defend his wife. He can't defend my mother in an argument where all three of them are involved. If you do, it's suicidal. It's suicidal. Although the mother has to have priority, I understand. She's the mother. So with all due respect, the mother should have priority. I understand. All the time. But not in fights. The mother has priority. We're going to the in-laws, you serve the mother first, let's say, the mother has priority because she's older and she's the mother. But now if there's a fight, that's different. The husband should take the wife's side. You know, so the people are like, oh, my company's priority. Trust me, they're going to make their mother priority. They're going to make everything priority because they don't understand the value of having a good wife. Trust me, when you have a good wife or good husband, that's your priority. You make sure that that relationship does not get affected. Not your family affects it, not your friends affected, not Instagram followers, and not your lizard enemies. That's the boldness it takes for a solid relationship. And I can see most people don't even have that. Why? Because everything else is priority. It's like, come on, man, really? No one with self-respect will accept crumbs. Let me tell you that much. And lastly, are you left being drained? Is this person draining you at the end of the day? Or are you energized? And at the end of the day, that's what it is. Because you can analyze all day long with your mind. But if your body feels drained after a social interaction with this person, that's all you need. Come on, that's all you need. If you decide to not see that and still go, then that's where the lessons come, and you can't feel sorry for anybody that keeps on going back to these abusive relationships. You try to save them, but you can't save them. If they're willingly going back to these abusive relationships, it is what it is, There's no changing that. It's for them to learn on their own. So look at these red flags, look at the green flags, and judge for yourself. Where is this love coming from? What's this person's intention? And can I see a future with this person and with this type of love where I can be fulfilled? Now, here's also last point, and I'm going to end with this. Be very careful with guys that are like, this is what I can offer you. This is something I've seen my entire life. If you're with me, this is what I can offer you, right? This is a huge selling point. Huge, huge. Girls get, locked in with just this selling point, right? They imagine this incredible life that you can have together, right? Let me tell you something. A huge truth hitter, right? If the person can offer you what they said that they can offer you, they can offer you that today, right? Oh, well, if you marry me or if you're with me, we can do this together and we can do that together and we can go travel and we can do this, right? We can have companies together. This is all fluff. Why don't I believe that? Because if that was true, the person would have it in their life already, right? If the person, oh, you can be with me and we'll travel the world. Well, the person should be traveling the world already, right? If they're not traveling the world and they can promise you a lot of travels, but they're not even traveling themselves. So hold on. Now suddenly I'm going to come into your life and we're going to travel the world. This is marketing, false marketing, right? Oh, well, if you come into my life, I can open all of these business. Really? You could have opened it without me, right? So what's going on here, right? These people should already be living their lives and then you add and you grow with them. But not like, oh, well, I don't do these, but if you come into my life, then I'll start doing them, right? No, that's false marketing. Trust me when I tell you, if the person wants to travel the world, he or she would already travel the world, and then you can join them. If the person wants to have international companies worldwide, then that person would already have international companies worldwide, and then you can join them and help them, right? So be very careful. A guy that has, or a girl that has life A, but is promising you life B, know that life B is hypothetical. There's a chance it might happen, and there's even a larger chance that it might not happen because the person hasn't demonstrated that this can happen. So again, you don't promise the future. Well, if you come to, if you date me, we can do all this. No. It has to happen now. This is why you grow with the person. No, we do this together now and we grow. So again, that one relationship that I find them so solid, they complement each other so well. First, they don't let any outside noise affect their relationship and their love for each other. Second, they have built a family, community. They have built so many things together. It's incredible. 3, there's one that's supercharged and the other one is more mellow, right? So they're constantly balancing each other out, constantly. And it's never like, oh, he's always making me balance him out. No. Person's chill. It's easy. Just by the person existing, the other one is already getting balanced. So wonderful, energy. Then they have the same passion. They like to go hiking together. They like to go traveling together. Like the passions are like the same, right? Like I love to go hiking, but if I date a guy that hates hiking and has to go to the gym, I can't. To me, it's really important to go hiking and I love to go explore, So I can't go lock myself in a gym. I just can't. I tried it. I hated it. I felt like a rat in a cage. And for me, it's hiking. So it's like, oh, and I'm going to meet a, gym rat that just hates hiking and loves, it makes no sense. That's why it's so important for people to have common things. And this is what we've lost because random people are going, I want that one, without even knowing who they are, without even knowing their quirks and their messed upness, or even what their intention is or what they want out of life or whatever, right? Because they want a goal. They were like, oh, if I get this person, I can have this. Or if I trap this person, I can have this, So again, it's all coming from compassion because everyone is seeking for love. And if they're seeking it in a messed up way, I cannot be upset. Nor should anyone be upset. We're just upset because it's happening to us, but it's not happening to us. The person is just demonstrating how they're loving. So if their love language isn't matching you, then, nothing personal. And again, this is why people love communities because you have, a lot of things in common with people in your community. You have less things in common with people on the, outside world, but it's okay because I love people that mix. That's why I love biracial relationships. I love, children that are biracial. I think that makes the strongest genes. I just love it, I love buffets. I love trying new things, So for me, it makes sense to go to the other side of the planet and go, I want that one. That's what I did. And trust me, like I want that one was great, but nothing holds the relationship together. The mission's not the same. The priorities are not the same. The goals are not the same. The passion and the hobby's not the same. So the whole thing becomes a compromise. So it's not that I'm not accepting, but, the solar flares are getting to me today. We're March 26th. March 26th is a conjunction with Venus and something happening with the planets. And I feel it. But I wanted to make a video anyways, regardless. So again, no hard feelings. But we got to talk about what real love is. And people that have never seen what real love is have no clue. They go around calling themselves king or Buddha or whatever. They have no idea. They have no idea. And I find it sad. Because only once you see what an extremely powerful couple looks like, can you duplicate that. Unless you've seen it, you can't duplicate it. You can't. It's impossible because you don't have the example. You think like that. You think maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like that. But if there's no relationship out there showing you what a real relationship looks like, it's normal. We're not going to know. So to me, this is a wonderful clarification because the relationships that I look up to, they're not on Instagram. And they don't post their personal life, so you don't really know what's going on, And again, Tony Robbins and Sage Robbins, to me, are an ideal couple, but I don't know them. Like, I haven't hung out with them to say. The couple that I'm telling you are wonderful, I hung out with them a lot. They're not from America, but every time I can hang out with them, I try, and I do, because I love their energy. And that's what I want for myself. And this is why I've waited 20 years, because that's what I want. I don't want no breadcrumbs, and I don't want to have a child with somebody I can't stand. That's going to be my mom's life, right? I don't want to repeat that. That's why I never let anyone have a child with me, because I don't want to repeat my mom's life. I don't want to be stuck and binded to somebody for 18 years. So this is why I never, went along with it. It's very hard to find someone that you can live with for 18 years when you've lived alone for 20, it's a blessing and a curse. I've been alone so long that I'm so comfortable. It's like I can't imagine what it is to be binded to someone for 18 years. Oh my God. Like if I can be binded to someone for a year, that's a wonderful success in my opinion. So that's my fear. That's something I need to work on. And I know when I meet somebody that's going to be like my soulmates or like my best friends, people that you just click right off the bat. To me, that has a better chance of surviving 18 years than some random going, I want that one. I don't know why. I just want that one. Their energy is familiar, right? So that's why manipulation is not the way to go, because you're confusing the person, and whoever leaves you confused is not doing anyone a favor, not themselves nor the partner. So again, really, really important, Because everyone is chasing love, everybody. Not everyone's chasing money, not everyone's chasing fame. And not everyone's chasing validation, but everyone's chasing love. Everybody, including myself, after 20 years of being alone and being comfortable, I would still love to find somebody great and have a family with them. But I understand there's a high chance that doesn't work, and that's fine, because that's what I want. I don't want my mom's life. I don't want to, have a kid with a guy and then run, I got to run from him. And I got to take the kid with me because I don't want that, trickling on my children. So, that's pretty much what my mom's life was. And I know if I'm not careful with my patterns, I'm going to repeat my mom's life. And all due respect to my mom was born in 1945. Like her mother used to, wash clothes in the lake, So that's my mom. I can't expect her to be different. I can't expect her to be anything but how she is. And I love her, but because she always put the best interest in her kids. She didn't do a good job picking my father. However, she did dedicate her entire life on the children. And this is why my mom is an incredible woman, because everything that happened to her, she never took it on her kids. She never hit her kids. She never talked bad down to the kids. She was, if anything, over loving. And I asked my mom one time, I said, how come you let my brothers walk all over you? Because she did. Like, my mom was always feeding my brothers. And sometimes one would come at midnight, like, I'm hungry. And then my mom would go and cook something, like at midnight, So I asked her, why are you doing this? And then she said, because I feel bad that the children don't have a father. She flat out told me. She's like, they don't have a father, so I'm trying to do the extra work to compensate. And it's funny, I'm going towards that, right? Because of the subconscious patterns. So again, we just have to catch the patterns that we had within our families so that we don't repeat it. Because we're going to repeat it endlessly. Like, you can change environments, you're still going to repeat it. You can go and move to Japan and you're going to meet a Japanese person that's going to give you the exact same treatment. I'm telling you. I didn't think that was possible, but I can confirm it is. You have to fix your energy. You have to fix what's charged in you so that you can release it and the patterns can stop. And I realized that although I have forgiven my father, I don't see him in the best light, and therefore I keep attracting emotionally unavailable people, because that's what he was, emotionally unavailable. To me, it's familiar. To me, is what love was. And this is why I'm making a video, to also correct myself and to let you know that at the end of the day, if the person's interested in you, they'll do the effort to find out about you, about who you are. It's as simple. So if you really want to know if somebody likes you, are they doing the effort to get to know you, or they're not? It's as simple as that. And then based on that, don't base on a hypothetical future. Base it on how you feel today. If you feel great today, then go with the relationship and grow together. I'm not saying find someone that's fully healed. No. Nobody is fully healed. Nobody is fully healed. But like Teal Swan said, if you're looking for a sports car, don't go getting a minivan. If you're looking for a minivan, don't go looking for a sports car. I'm looking for a Sprinter. I don't want a minivan nor a sports car, right? So you need to see what you're looking for, and then based on that, you go pick what you want. And then you grow with the person. So I hope this clarified. Everyone's looking for love. We're all out here looking for the same thing and wanting the same thing. And this is what creates compassion amongst everybody. Knowing that everyone's looking for love in the most weirdest, different ways, weirdest patterns. We can't judge based on that, because at the end of the day, everyone wants love. So this is not a video to correct anybody, because nobody's wrong. Nobody is wrong. It's just a question of finding your own tribe. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.